All right, Damini, I think we can start the webinar. And I've started the recording. So what we are going to do is we are going to share it with people who are not able to join us today. We have around 8, 9 people at the moment, and we expect a little bit more. But people who are not able to join in, we will be sharing the recording with them, right? So just to briefly introduce you and your platform to everyone. First of all, thank you everyone for joining in this webinar series. Today we have with us Wemakescholar, one of the prominent platforms for higher education funding for Indian students to study abroad. Damini is the manager over there, and she would be talking about the product and how you can utilize their services. So I wish you all the best. If you have any questions, please write in the chat, and Damini would be happy to answer all those questions. If you have any questions at the Q&A session, then of course raise your hands and we can answer your questions live there as well. Meanwhile, please be muted, and let's hear from Damini for next few minutes. Damini, over to you.
Yeah, hello everyone, and thanks Prayag for setting this up. And I know you're traveling, but otherwise it would have been great to, have you, a little more detailed part of this session. But yeah, so thank you so much for setting this up, and very happy to share with students on the financing platform, financing information. So this is Damini. I'm one of the co-founders at Wemakescholar, and we have supported a lot of students of KEDGE in the past, and happy to support many more in the years to come. So first of all, congratulations on your admit, and I'm sure that you must be a great student, that you have been able to get into one of the top B schools in France. So getting that admit would does already distinguish you, and I'm sure to accept that if you're looking at financing documents like external financing things, like if your family is not if you're not planning to go fully with your self funds, if you're looking at scholarships or education loan options, and the financing proof for your visa and things like that. So in this session I'm going to primarily guide you on both of those aspects, which is financing your higher education through an education loan and financing of your higher education through a scholarship. So let's start with a quick introduction. So Wemakescholar. So I already mentioned that I'm co-founder of Wemakescholar. So Wemakescholar is the largest education finance platform in India. We are the largest, when it comes to volume of students who are funded every year for overseas education. So we launched in April 2015, and we were inaugurated by Dr. Shashi Tharoor. When I say we are number one for education loans in India, it is because roughly 1 in every 5 students take their education loan through Wemakescholar. So we roughly have about 17% market share. That's what makes us the largest in India. And when I say we are number one for scholarships in the world, so we have more than 26,000 scholarships listed on the platform. And by the size of database, it makes us the largest platform in the entire world for international students to look for scholarships. And we are funded and supported by Ministry of Electronics and IT under their Digital India initiative, and that's why all the services of Wemakescholar are absolutely free. I'll talk about that in a while. Now, starting with the loan terms, and so the first bit is about loan, the second bit is about scholarship. So, starting with the loans bit, so basically there are two kinds of loans which I wanted to give you the consolidated information on. And again, as I mentioned, Wemakescholar is a finance platform. We are not a lender. We don't give you money from our own pocket. Whereas we work with all the banks in India. So because we are funded by government, we primarily work with government banks like State Bank of India or Canara Bank or Union Bank, or those kind of PSUs. On the other side, we work with all the private banks and NBFCs also. So now at Wemakescholar, we can help you with both the kinds of options. Whether you want to go for an SBI or a Bank of Baroda or those kind of banks, or you want to go for a private bank for a non-collateral loan. Yeah. So just a second. Yeah. Okay. So now on the collateral loan side, you can see the terms on my screen. On the left-hand side, I've written collateral loans. In the bracket, I've written public banks because most of the government banks will require a collateral. Yeah, so government banks can will not be able to offer you non-collateral loans for a significant amount, and that is the reason that if students want to avail the benefit of public sector banks, which are like lower rate of interest, lower processing fee, they generally have to put a collateral. On the right hand side, you can see the section as titled as non-collateral loans. So if you're looking for a loan without collateral, it is very much possible for students who are going to KEDGE. We can help you with a loan without any collateral security. But just the thing is, for that, we will have to process it with a private bank or NBFC. So there are certain things like interest rate, processing fee, which are slightly higher in private banks versus government banks. Yeah. So let's go one by one. So first thing is loan amount. If you are having a collateral, we can go up to 3 crores. I know that you guys don't need that sort of an amount. Whatever 40-50 lakhs you require, that is possible to get you with collateral, provided you are able to arrange a collateral security of 100% of the loan amount. So I will talk about the acceptable collaterals in my next slide. Now, on the non-collateral side, the top limit is 50 lakh rupees. So if you're wanting a loan without mortgaging any collateral security, you will still be able to get it, but that would be about maximum of 50 lakh rupees. Now, the next thing is the interest rate. So the interest rate in government banks, it is 9.4%, but whereas the same interest rate in private sector banks or NBFCs, which is if you're going for a non-collateral loan, it will be about 11 to 12.5%. Yeah, so you can see there is a slight variation of about 2%. But that is again, if you're not able to put collateral, then you will be able to go for that option still, right? So there's no mandate of putting a collateral if you're going for this section. That's why the rates are slightly higher. Now coming to the processing fee. Processing fee is 10,000 rupees in government banks. That is the maximum. No government bank charges you a processing fee of above 10,000. So it's going to be 10,000 or slightly lesser than that. But on the non-collateral side, the processing fee is never a fixed amount. It is always a percentage of the loan amount. So it is 0.75 to 1.5%. So let's say if I assume it as 1%, then on a 50 lakhs loan, the processing fee will be 50,000. If you need 30 lakhs loan, it will be about roughly 30,000. Whereas in government bank, it is going to stay at 10%, 10,000 rupees. Yeah, so that's the difference. Now coming to the moratorium period, which is again a very important factor for students. Now what happens is in all education loans, you will have a moratorium period, which means while you are studying, during your course duration plus 6 months to 1 year after the course, you don't have to pay any EMI. Now what happens is during this period, this course study period, government banks will not ask you to pay back even a single penny back to the bank. So there is no mandate of paying back anything. Whereas in private sector banks and NBFCs, they will say, hey, we understand you're on your moratorium, your EMI will start after that, but during this moratorium, at least pay us a partial simple interest or full simple interest of your loan. Don't pay us EMI. EMI will start after your course is over and moratorium is over, but pay us at least partial simple interest, which can be as small as 2,000 to 5,000 rupees. Yeah, so that is one another difference between government banks and private banks, or you can say between a collateralized loan and a non-collateral loan. And then the financial co-applicant. So financial co-applicant basically means, let's say if your parents are earning, they are your financial co-applicant. But if your father or mother they are not earning, then you would bring in somebody else who is having some income proof to be eligible as a financial co-applicant, which means the bank wants to see somebody who is earning. Okay. Now, financial co-applicant is not mandatory in case of secured or collateralized loans from a government bank. But whereas financial co-applicant is mandatory if you want a non-collateral loan from a private bank or NBFC. Yeah. So I hope the terms are clear. Right. And again, clarifying once again, if your father is earning, then you don't need an additional financial co-applicant. Even he can be your financial co-applicant. Or if your mother or if your brother is earning, they can be your financial co-applicant. Yeah. Now, coming to the acceptable collaterals quickly. So these are the kind of collaterals which are acceptable, which is house or a flat or a non-agricultural land. Please note that third-party collaterals are also acceptable. A lot of people ask us that, okay, my family, my parents do not own the collateral, but my grandparents own it. So those kind of collaterals, or family friend is willing to mortgage a collateral, that is also acceptable. Yeah, and then comes the liquid security part. So liquid security would be, one second, somebody's way. Okay, so liquid security is your fixed deposits or your government bonds or your LIC policies. These are the kind of things which are liquid securities. So even those are acceptable, and multiple collaterals can also be clubbed. So for example, let's say you want a 50 lakhs loan and you have a flat which is worth only 30 lakh rupees, right? So you can have that 30 lakh flat, but plus you can add a 20 lakh rupees FD, or you can add a 20 lakh rupees LIC policy. So multiple collaterals can also be clubbed if you want to go for a collateralized loan. But I'm repeating again, it is not mandatory to go for a collateralized loan. As I already mentioned in my last slide, there are collateralized loans and then there are non-collateral loans also which we can help you, right? So both the kind of options are there for you. So whether you want to go for loan with collateral, or you want to go for a loan without collateral, that's purely your choice, that what sort of an option you want to pick up. Now, coming to the next slide, which is our loan coverage. Sorry, yeah, loan coverage. So you can get loan up to 100% of your expenses. There is no mandate of margin money from most of the banks these days. So whatever is your tuition fees, your living expenses, whether you're staying in college hostel or outside, your food expenses, your flight tickets from India to the university or the nearest airport, and the health insurance, the books or laptop or miscellaneous, any other expense what you have, you can put together everything, and whatever that figure comes to, bank will be able to fund you 100% of your total expenses which are incurred for your degree. And now coming to the documents, a lot of people have, they're very scared about these study education loan documents. So just quickly, I'm gonna go through that. So the documents, there is no rocket science. So basically, the KYC documents, which is PAN, passport of applicant is required. Past academic documents, which is your 10th, 12th degree. I have mentioned it as optional. So when you're going for your masters, so many times we have seen that people, they have not completed their degree, they are in their pre-final year or something like that. I mean, they're yet to write the final exams, and at the moment when they're applying for visa and things like that, they need the funding proof. So we have got this policy approved from the banks that degree will be optional. So which means you can get your loan done even without submitting the final bachelor's degree and getting a loan. I mean, you can get a loan for masters without submitting the final bachelor's degree. And admission letter, you will have to provide it to the bank. Any of the test scores you have written, that you will have to provide. Now, coming to the co-applicant documents, again, it's basic KYC documents, the photo ID proof or address proof. Financial documents of the co-applicant will be required only if the financial co-applicant is mandatory. Now, going back, if you remember my slides, I said on the collateral side, you don't need a financial co-applicant. Only on the non-collateral side, you need a financial co-applicant, right? So in that scenario, your financial co-applicant should have pay slips if they are salaried, or business proof if they are self-employed. Income tax returns of past 2 years will also be required. Now these are the collateral documents. So I would not go through it one by one because I know mostly parents can understand it better than students. So you can probably take a screenshot of this and discuss with your parents. But one very important thing I've highlighted here in green color is that multi-city processing is possible with Wemakescholar. So your collateral could be in one city and you could be staying in another city, right? So let's say if you are staying in Hyderabad and your property is in Bangalore, right? When you go to the bank directly, they will not process your application because the branch in Hyderabad cannot get the verification done of your documents from Bangalore, right? But in such scenarios, because we make scholars working pan India, literally all the locations in India, we have, in most of the metros, about 25 cities, we have field staff also. So doesn't matter which city you are in, we will be able to process your file even if the collateral is in a different location. I hope that part is clear. Now, coming to the last section on the loans part before I move to the scholarship, is that I told you 1 in every 5 students take their loan through VMake Scholars, and that's That's what makes us the largest education finance platform in the country with 17% market share. Now, when we ask these students that, why don't you go to banks directly? What makes you apply through VMake Scholars? Basically, they gave us four reasons. Number one is that they're able to check multiple lenders with VMake Scholars. So, see, we work with more than 15 banks. For you to go to each one of them and check whether you're eligible, and if you're eligible, what is the rate, what is the repayment tenure, what is the processing fee, and all 100 questions, it is not going to be practically possible. Now, what happens is my team is trained by the credit officers of these banks. A 30 minutes call, they will check your parents' income, credit score, university, the course, everything. They'll be able to tell you, hey, these are the banks where you're eligible and these are the banks where you're not eligible, so that you don't end up wasting time on the not eligible option. So that's one reason why people come to us. The second reason is the complete support. So we assign you a dedicated financial officer because we understand that this is probably the first biggest loan you're taking of your, life. So you will have hundreds of questions like, what if, I get a job after 2 years and I get a joining bonus? How can I pay back my loan, or how can I close my loan in bulk and things like that? So this dedicated financial officer will be able to answer all your questions. Your parents question doesn't matter, they speak regional language also. So if your parents are having any question, they can also talk to them in Telugu, Tamil, Malayalam, Hindi, English, any language. Right, and the financial officer will be doing the complete coordination with the bank staff until sanction, and the timeline is also pretty lower, I would say, than going to the same bank directly. So all we take is about 7 days for a non-collateral loan and about 25 working days for a secured loan end to end. So that's pretty fast, and that's another benefit you have. Third reason why students come to us is because it's cost effective. All our services are completely free. We do not charge you even a single penny, right? And on top of that, you also get a discount on your rate of interest. About 10 banks out of the 15 banks, other than public sector bank, I can tell you. So all the private sector banks and NBFCs offer 2% up to 2% discount via Wemakescholar. So if your friend has gone to the same bank directly and has got, let's say, 11.5%, when you apply with Wemakescholar, the rate will be either 11 or 11.25 or less than 11, right? So you would get that discount because of our volume. These banks give us the discount because we process thousands of applications with them every year. So they give us this discount, which we pass it on to the student, and you get a minimum 25% discount on the bank's processing fee. Again, if your friend went to the bank directly and is paying 1% of the loan amount as processing fee, with VMake Scholars, it will only be 0.75 or lesser than that, right? So that's third reason. And the last one, the fourth reason, which is again very important and very unique, we offer you a dedicated post sanction officer. So when you're not in India, if you're facing any issue with your loan, which a lot of students face, right? So many times their second semester fee is due and they keep writing emails to the bank and the bank doesn't release it on time, or they are in France and then they run out of their living expenses. They write emails to the bank, and so many times that disbursement delay happens. So many times the repayment issues happen, right? So this financial officer will be, this post sanction officer will be able to solve all those issues for you. And second thing is, you will be in a very different time zone. The evening there will be, the morning there will be evening here, maybe the banks will be closed and things like that. So for all those things, the financial officer, you just have to WhatsApp them the issue. They will take care of it in the time zone in India. Yeah. And the last thing is interest rate protection schemes. So when you take your education loan through VMake Scholars, we guarantee you that your interest will not be increased. No increase in rate of interest until unless there is an RBI repo rate change. Because so many banks, they have this intent to increase the rate after they have given the loan. But with VMake Scholars, that will not happen. So that's all. Now coming to the scholarship bit. So we are the largest scholarship search engine, as I already mentioned on my first slide. We have more than 26,000 scholarships listed, and these scholarships are from all different sources. We focus on government scholarships, the corporate scholarships, the trust and foundation, university scholarships, everything at one single place, so that you don't have to go to each one of those websites on your own to find those scholarships. And there are filters which are based on the nationality. You can just put it that, okay, I'm from India and I'm looking I'm looking for masters, and then I'm looking in France, and what field of interest I'm looking at, and then you'll have the complete list of scholarships which you are eligible for. And then for each scholarship, you will also be able to see the eligibility criteria. You'll be able to see the deadline, and then you will be able to see the application link, and then you'll be, you can just go directly to the application from here. So all the details at one single place is what we offer you as the largest scholarship search engine. So that's it. And quickly, this is a process. So you can apply to us on our website, or you can directly call us on this number. It will be shown on my last slide, so don't no need to rush on it. And the financial officer will call you the same day or the next day. Then the financial officer will go through your profile and give you the information on different eligible options. Once you have that information, you can make the choice of the bank which you are looking for, and we will give you the online application and checklist for that bank. Once that is done, you will fill the form, you will upload the documents, and then you can leave the rest to us. And that's it. And we are rated more than 4.8 with 3,300 plus reviews on Google and thousands of reviews on LinkedIn and other platforms. So we are very proud of our services, and I'm sure that we'll be able to add great value to your loan process as well. And that's it. And we are endorsed by the global leaders. Dr. Shashi Tharoor, on the right hand side, he had inaugurated the platform. On left hand side, you can see Dr. Helen Clark, ex Prime Minister of New Zealand, who has tweeted about Wemakescholar, and Mr. Amitabh Kant, father of Make in India Digital India initiative, felicitating us. So that's all. And thank you. So these are the coordinates once again. And now you can put your questions, or you can unmute yourself and ask it, and happy to answer all the questions now. And we'll copy paste these details in the chat box as well. So meanwhile, you can start typing your questions or unmute and ask for it. We have got our first question, which is like, what if I have an existing loan on my name? So I would like to understand, Purnima, that whether the loan on your name is like an education loan or any other loan. So okay, I'll answer this question in both the scenarios. So for example, if you're having a home loan running, right? So in that case, you can you will have to transfer the simple interest deduction to somebody else's account. So when you are going for studying, the home loan borrower will have an issue saying that if you're going for studies, who is going to pay this loan? So you will have to find any joint borrower, or your spouse or parents who will be able to pay that loan while you're abroad. Yeah, Purnima. Yeah, okay. You can ask the question directly. Yeah.
Yeah, so I have a personal loan on my name. So, like, I have taken that to construction. Like, my parents are paying that. I'm not paying it, but still it is on my name because I am the only person who is a salaried person. My parents are farmers. So, in this case, what do I do? Like,
Okay. So, do you expect the loan to close while, because see, the lenders will not have any issue in approving you the loan, okay? But they would
okay.
only want to see that how, because they would not want your loan to go NPA, because if the loan goes on
Mhm.
NPA, even in their books, it will reflect bad. So the only thing they
Yes.
want to see is before you're leaving the country, let's say by August, if this loan will be closed, or who will be the alternate, let's say your sibling or somebody who can transfer this eNash or the SI eNash onto their name. So that's the thing, because see, when you're abroad, they definitely it cannot go from your account, because you will be a student, you'll be studying. So the
Mhm.
banks don't have any issue in approving you the loan. The only thing you will have to
Okay.
give them a clarification is who will pay it when you're not in the country.
Okay, so if I'm, for example, if I'm transferring that loan to my brother or sibling like that, so what if he does he require a proof of income like salary or something else, or can
See,
it be?
somebody should be, see, the if when the loan EMI is debiting every month, somebody should have the
Mhm.
capacity, somebody should be getting enough amount every month regularly, which is
Mhm.
higher than the EMI, right? So that person, whether it could be, they could be salaried, they could be self-employed, but that
Okay.
person should have the capacity to serve that EMI.
Oh, okay. Got it. Thank you so much,
Yeah,
Damini.
even if it is rental income on your parents' name also, then even on parents'
Mhm.
name it can be transferred. So the bank doesn't want you to close the loan; they just want you to transfer the debit account, the account from which it is debiting, so that the loan doesn't become NPA.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you so
Okay.
much.
Yeah, sure. Thank you. The next question from Ravi Sripriya is how to apply for the scholarship. So Sripriya, as I already mentioned, okay, if you want, I can just put the screen on once again. So as I already shown you on the screen, so you can just go to the this yeah, scholarship on wemakescholars.com. I've already put the link in the chat box also. Directly see, this is a free open use resource. It doesn't even require you to log in or register. You just come on to this and you will be able to go to the scholarship page, put the details of your nationality and degree and everything, and you will have the complete details. On this button is there on here, view and apply. Once you click on this, it will give you the link of the scholarship portal, the platform from where you can apply. The trust or foundation or government, whoever is offering it, the link, the application form will be on their website. So from here, you will be able to give you that link. I hope I answered your question. Okay. Okay, I'm facing issue with banks where they're not accepting kids M1 acceptance letter since it mentions as pathway for the first year, claiming it's a pathway course. It has caused a lot of back and forth without any clear guidelines from the banks. My application is on hold even though I've submitted all the documents. Okay, I urgently need a sanction letter. So thanks Anthony for bringing it to my notice. I'm putting in my email ID here. Okay, I would want you to just send me this issue once on email if possible. I will discuss with Priyag also once that, what is this, the pathway program? I would need some detail to convince the banks because banks generally, the only concern they have with pathway is that, whether it will lead to degree, what is the probability, what are the chances of that being converted to the master's degree later. So I'll have a word with your university. I'll speak to Priyag from KEDGE and then we would discuss and I'll come back to you over the email. I've put down my direct email ID and I'll just discuss with you directly. Yeah. Any other questions? You can unmute also if you're having a question. Happy to answer it directly, or you can type it. So anyone else, Himanshu or Kanchan or Mohit, do you guys have any questions? Happy to answer it. If you don't have any questions, then we can end the session. Okay. I believe no one else has any other questions. So thank you so much for joining us today and looking forward to
Thanks,
connecting
Damini.
with you. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Prayag. Is there
Thank
anything, Prayag, you want to add?
we're going to do is yeah, no, that's it. If there are any questions, we'll reach out to you, and let's keep in touch because I am sure there would be a lot of students who would be reaching out to you for this assistance. So once again, thank you so much, Damini, for your time, and thanks to all the students as well for joining in.
Thank you, everyone. Yeah, bye-bye.
Everyone, thank you.